Thanks for the question. This is one of, as you suggested, many different elements of China's intelligence gathering campaign against the United States. They have satellites that operate 24/7, trying to collect information. They do major work in terms of cyber online. Some folks might remember a few years ago the data breach of OPM that took thousands, tens of thousands of Americans' personal information. They operate with human intelligence. And so these balloons, it's not really clear how much value added there is to them. I mean, there's some belief that hovering over, they can get a higher resolution image of certain areas, particularly some of those areas in Montana, which, have things that we can't talk about on television, but are important sites for the United States in terms of our ICBM and nuclear capabilities. But these are at a very, very high altitude. They hover over a long period of time over an expansive space, and they collect through either radio signals or imagery. They try to collect, they collect on the ground. So,
Joel, now President Biden said that he gave the order to shoot down the balloon on Wednesday. Those orders were just carried out, of course, today. Was there a national security risk in waiting those few days? And if there was the risk worth it, given the number of Americans who may have been endangered below?
Well, Secretary Castro, thank you for having me tonight. And the president, he's really executed this in a flawless manner. In fact, there wasn't a security risk by having these hover over. We gained intelligence by having the balloon hover over as we were disabling it, as Dan mentioned, and waiting for this moment to shoot it down. The United States is able to understand better now how China conducted surveillance, better able to watch the balloon and its effects. Apparently, China does have a fleet of these surveillance balloons. And this is not the first time the United States has experienced a balloon flying over or near its territory. That is, several times in the Trump administration, earlier in the Biden administration, but never this close directly over our territory. But we're not alone. There are multiple countries that have experienced this, and it appears that they are now reaching out to the United States, to the Biden team as well, to say that they too have seen these kinds of events. So we actually learned a lot by having it hover over. No American lives were put at risk, as you say, 12 miles spread or 7 miles spread of debris. That would have potentially been very dangerous for people underneath on the ground. So it was the right move to wait until it got over coastal waters.
Yeah, and Victor, Dan DeLuce just told us that according to the U.S. government, they were able to jam the ability of this balloon to collect data, presumably after it was discovered. I mean, for you, if it had collected information, what would your biggest concern be about the type of information that it could collect and the sensitivity of that?
Well, I mean, I think the point about the balloon's collection capability being jammed is an important one, because it showed that there was no immediate risk, whether it was an intelligence risk or a risk to other assets on the ground. I think when they collect all this debris, we will find out what sort of information will be collected. Well, we might not find out on the outside, but inside the U.S. government, they will. And at the same time, the administration might release certain bits and pieces of information that will embarrass the Chinese and, again, accentuate the fact that there is this, massive intelligence collecting campaign that the Chinese are taking against us. I should also say, Secretary Castro, that I've heard or seen on social media, some people say we do this too, meaning the United States, but that's not really it's not really equivalent, because we don't violate another country's airspace and fly stuff directly within eyesight of people standing on the ground.